Hey, Mississippi Survivor here. And thank you all for tuning in to check me out. Thank you for your support. But right here, now I know this ain't got nothing to, I would think when I first thought about it, I said, well, this ain't got nothing to do with Survivor. Then I started thinking about it. And I said, well, yes it does. Because you, just like I know, that shops are getting ridiculous or been ridiculous. They even worse now with prices and getting something done as simple as an O2 sensor or something of that nature. It's ridiculous. Now, it's imperative that you guys try to start learning how to do some of the basic things to your vehicle. What I'm doing is a little bit more extensive, but you need to learn to do some of the basic work to your vehicles to save you thousands of dollars. Back in the day, it may have been save you hundreds of dollars. Now it'll save you thousands of dollars because these mechanic shops are not playing. They are knocking your head off and ain't asking no questions. Don't want to know what kind of wig you want to replace back on your head or nothing. They knocking that slap off. That's what they're doing. So, what I got here is a 2011 Chevy Camero. Now, to go with that and what I'm saying, the reason why I'm showing you this particular vehicle is because they have went to the extent to put things in ridiculous and most stupidest places I've ever seen. And they're doing this so you have to take it to the mechanic shop, so you got to get it fixed. Another thing, they electrifying electronic every freaking thing because you don't have the tools to fix it and you have to go to a mechanic shop once again so they can put their machine on it so they can troubleshoot it and fix it. Now, you can buy your own machine. You can buy some cheap ones for $30-something, which are $40-something or $60, depending on where you are. And those machines help out tremendously. But there are some things that limitations to that machine depending on how much you spend it. The machine that's at the shop that they may have might be $2,000 machine. Who has $2,000 to throw at a machine that they're not going to use all the time? But if you got a yard full of cars, you paid good money for those vehicles. And if you did, then why? Why not go ahead and invest in something that's going to help you fix that vehicle or help you know what's going on with that vehicle? Now, this vehicle right here, I like the vehicle, but it's something, this is to prove the point of what I'm talking about. First of all, this right here is the thermostat to the 2011, and it has a cast aluminum housing, which you can't be dropping this because they'll break. Then you got to go buy another housing, and I can bet you any kind of money it's going to be a dealer's item, and it's going to cost an arm and a leg. I guarantee it. If it's in the store, it'll fool me. Secondly, it's not so much the problem of this item. What happened with this was it's stuck in an open position. So when it did that, then now the water wouldn't circulate and flow through the car. Okay, so that's the issue with that, and that's why we're changing this. Because I mean, when I say it's stuck in the open position, you can't even push it no kind of way to make it do anything. It will not budge. So that's not my issue. The issue is where they put the thermostat. Normally, when people say thermostat, you thinking, hey, I'm going to change this thermostat in about 5-10 minutes. Boom, I'm putting this thing back together. I'm out of here. But not on the 2011 Chevy Camaro. No. What they did with this is, you got to take the entire intake off the car, all the breather hoses, top cap, and it's still not in the front, which is stupid. I ended up having to take all this hose and piping loose. Take it all loose. I'm going to have to put all that back together with all the clamps and stuff they had. And the pipe runs around the engine, and the pipe is bolted to the engine. So therefore, even when you get the thermostat loose, now, even when you get that thermostat loose, it still ain't going to come off. It's not going to come off until you unbolt the pipe from the engine. See, now I done seen a lot of videos on this, and they try to make it look so simple, because what they did was they did the work, They done paused the video, did the work, and said, okay, now take this off. And now take this off. They don't tell you how heck of a difficult it is to get this stuff off this car, which is another reason why they charge you an arm and a leg. Because some stuff was just dumb. Like, for instance, on the back of the intake, right here, is a bracket. It goes to nothing. What is the point of it? Now, you got to screw 2 screws behind the intake to screw the intake. The intake is screwed down anyway. It's not going to move anyway. They got this bracket back here, 2 more screws. It's under the firewall. And, man, I'm telling you, it'll take you about 20, 30 minutes to get these screws or longer just to get 2 stupid screws out the intake. That's one problem. That slows you down. Another problem. Now, we talked about this again, this thermostat. Now, you get, the thermostat is back here behind the freaking motor. Now, I wish I could just meet the person that did this so we can just, slap them clean off the earth. This is ridiculous. Now, they put this thing behind the motor. Who puts a thermostat behind the motor? Put in the front. Again, it is to make money. Thermostat way back here. I'm trying to get it. There we go. Now you see where it's at. That's behind the motor. That is insane. And then the way you look at these videos, they made it be so simple, and it is not. It is ridiculous. They just put it to a point where you can get the idea. Oh, this is the idea. They don't tell you when you get your tail out here how hard it's going to be and how long you're going to really be out here trying to get this thing fixed. As you can see, the piping is still down here. So you can get some more light. That's it. Pipe just sitting in there. I got to take all that stuff and put all that stuff back. And then I'm guaranteeing if a mechanic shop had done this, you will be in trouble. Your pockets will be screaming for the Lord. I'm telling you right now. Because they're going to charge by the hour and they don't care how much they charge you. It's ridiculous. So, that's the whole point of learning your vehicle. It's okay to look at videos and stuff like that and do that, but sometimes you got to get out there and do hands-on and start manually doing some things on your own so you'll get a hands-on experience on your vehicle that you got. If that's the only vehicle you know how to fix, buy the same vehicle again. If you don't want to learn how to fix another vehicle, don't buy no different vehicle. Buy the same one. If you want to learn something different and expand what you can do, then by all means, get you a different vehicle. But be researching that vehicle. I find out what's the best type of motor to get, what motors are good, what motors hold up the longest, what motors I can put the most miles on it, and all that right there. That's what I do. So, again, this is just a quick learning, educational video. And this is part of your survivalness. You need to learn how to work on your vehicle. I know people don't even know how to even check the oil on their vehicle. Now, transmission fluid is another story because they just started taking the sticks out of there and saying it's a service only, which is BS. And all you got to do is go online, order you a stick, pull the cap, and put you another one in there. That's just a game that they play. It's all about money, people. It's all about money. So, as you can see, I got a gain of work here that I got to get to do. I got this out now. I got to get the thermostat actually out of the housing. And once I get the thermostat out of the housing, replace that, and start putting this thing back together. It is not fun, so don't let nobody throw you a video and make you think it was all gravy. The job before this job, I had to take all the valve cover gaskets off and change the valve cover, the new gaskets and the boots. Now, anybody that don't know, these cars are notorious for leaking oil in the spark plugs. If you got a 2011 Chevy Camero, and I don't know why people be so vague and they won't just be straight to the point and tell people exactly what the problem is. That gets on my nerves. So, if you got a 2011 Chevy Camaro and you took and you got a oil, if it's spotting your plugs out, or you open, you do a spark plug change, and you take the spark plugs out of that vehicle, and you see oil halfway up the threads, you know that you got either or 9 times. Or what the problem with this one was, it really wasn't the oil pan, the valve cover gaskets. That wasn't even the issue, but I changed them anyway because I was in there. But the real problem was the boots. The boots under here that goes around this spark plug and the core packs that goes around this right here, up under here. Now what they did, they took that valve cover gasket, and under here is a rubber boot. And when you take that off, you take that rubber boot out. Because what really happened is that rubber boot been on there so long, when that rubber boot gets old and it gets extremely hard. So it's not rubbery, it's not expanding or anything, because it's just old and just hard, and that's all you're going to get. So now oil is bypassing that rubber boot and it's going down into your spark plugs. Because I was like, why is there oil in the spark plug? I was like, this is ridiculous. And then I had to do some research, and I found out that these boots, I thought it was a gasket at first, but once I took it apart, I found out that the boots was the main issue, the main culprit that was throwing oil down into the spark plugs. And over time, they will foul them out. It won't take that long. It will foul them out. You'll have to keep buying spark plug. You'll have terrible gas mileage. So know this: 2011 Chevy Camaro. I don't know about no other Camaro. I know this one right here, this model and this year. You got oil on the spark plug. Well, go on, change the valve cover gasket, because you got to take all this stuff off anyway. Change the gasket and change these boots. And those screws that go on the top of the intake, they have rubber boots on those as well that goes down in the intake. That seals that up. So, see if I got one. Yeah, here's one here. This little rubber boot that goes around that screw that goes down in that intake. And that's what that's for. You gotta make sure you put this stuff back right. Make sure you double check and make sure all your lines and fittings are snapped in correctly. You know, since you get in a hurry and mess something up. So just take your time and do the job right. Now, I hope this helps somebody. And again, this is a 2011 Chevy Camaro. I will be shooting video when I get done with this thing. Again, so you let me know that I got it up or got it back running and it's not running hot. So I hope this helps somebody. And again, try to be as versatile as you can. You know what I mean? Be as versatile as you can and learn as much as you can about your vehicle so that you can fix on it yourself and save yourself a lot of money. Even when you're dealing with the parts stores are ordering stuff online because they got the money, tons of it, and they got it in stock. And they making you pay for the convenience of having it right here to get. Some people got to stop being impatient and just order it online and wait till it gets there. That's why you need to have a backup vehicle, bike, or whatever the case may be, motorcycle. Have your backup vehicle that saves gas and use that vehicle. So, again, I ain't mean to make this a long video. I'm finna shut this thing down. I'm finna get myself back to work here and see can we get something done with this vehicle. Mississippi Survivor, I hope you learned something. I love you. Take care, and I'm out.